Welcome back to Let's Play Xenogears. We have just escaped from A block, and remember the part when Big Joe scammed me out of 5,000 G? Well, this is the reason why I did it. You can confront him here. Now, instead of beating the hell out of him, which was what I would probably do, given the choice, he gives you another option. Well, not really an option, it's what you have to do. Gives you some information. You can change your party at the Wildcat pub. Not really useful piece of information. Although I probably should. And you can go back to the back street that he scammed you into looking, and there is a little secret waiting for you. Go up here, back into A block. Find the alley, it's over this way. And we have an M-Disc. What an M-Disc does is you go into the Wildcat pub here in whatever the hell it was called, and you go over to this music box, which remember earlier, a few episodes back, we found that it was broken. But you can put this in here. And you can choose a music track to play. Now, there are only a few tracks available at this point in the game, and that woman standing next to the door is the one you talk to change your party. Now, if I were just playing through this game, I would talk to that person and change my current party. Because this is actually the first point in the game where you have more than 3 characters. We have 4 characters available to be used in battle. And you have to choose who you think would be the best at any point in the game. Realistically, the best choice for a party right now is Faye, who you have to use anyway, Citan, and Rico. The reason why I choose that group instead of Faye, Citan, and Elly is because Elly right now is a very weak character. Her attack power is low. Not that that really matters because we're going to be fighting in Gears. But she doesn't have any death blows. None. I failed to achieve her first level death blow while we were in Blackmoon Forest, meaning she still has none now. Although her level is higher, she still doesn't have death blows. Now, you may not think that that is that big of an issue because Elly's basically like a mage. She is intended to rely mostly on magic attacks. The problem is that in this game, magic attacks aren't always the best option. Magic attacks are basically elemental. Her magic attacks are elemental anyway. And not every enemy has an elemental weakness. And even if they do, it's not always obvious. Also, a little bit later in the game, actually probably within the next episode or so, she'll be gaining area effect elemental attacks, which attack more than one enemy at a time. Enemies that are grouped together, she attacks. The problem with this is it doesn't always work. A lot of times the enemies will defend from it, and she'll apologize for having screwed it up. So you won't do nearly as much damage. The only reason why I am using Elly right now is because I need her to, well, we've used Rico in the past scenes, and although we've used Citan too, we haven't seen Citan work using his gear recently. Heimdall. We haven't used Heimdall since the attack on the Desert Pirate's base. So we have 3 characters, now we have to choose 2 of them. Citan, who we haven't used in a gear in a very long time, and Elly, who up until this point we haven't used in a gear yet. It also gives me the opportunity to train Elly on her death blows, because she is going to need her death blows, especially later on in the game where her death blows become more powerful than any magic attack that they could use. So we need to start that early. The only problem is I need to go out of my way in order to train her in her death blows. So I'll be having her fight outside of her gear against enemies who are in their gears. See, her attack is quite low. Eventually her attack will get higher because she'll get better weapons. But basically, for the moment, she is weak, she is slow, and her HP is rather low. Now a key difference between... oh, now she's unconscious. Now I'm going to call phase gear and just end this battle. A key difference between Elly on foot and Elly in her gear is that Elly in her gear is much, much faster than average. She has one of the fastest gears available, whereas Elly on foot is rather slow. Right now she has the same speed, same agility as Rico, who's at least has his power to fall back on. Now this will eventually change, but right now Elly's at a significant disadvantage. But I have to force myself to use her for various reasons. Now here's the Goliath factory. This is where Veltal was taken from. And we have to go back in here. Elly has to go back. She doesn't provide any directions or anything, so it's not necessary for her to be part of the party. This is where we go, and we have Hammer here. Now, you can tune up your gears, which I actually have to for both Heimdall for Citan and Verge for Elly. Both Veltal and Steer are up to date. You'll notice we haven't had any random encounters yet, and they will not happen. Notice that Elly and Citan are both out of their gears. We will not have any encounters until now. Now after this battle we will have our random encounters while in the Goliath factory. Now notice what I'm doing now is against gears I'm here to practice death blows. I'm trying a death blow on a gear. It does quite a bit of damage, but not nearly enough. Not nearly as much as, say, Faye in his gear will do. But the problem is these guys will attack people not in their gears. They will focus on people who aren't in their gears first. Then they will move on to fighting characters who are in their gears. Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass, which means you have to use gears against these things. You can't have anybody outside of gears, and they will whittle away at your HP. Now something you can do is after you fight these enemies, you can go back, talk to Hammer, and repair your gears. But I'm not going to do that. This will take it out. Faye gets all of the experience now. Now I'm going to change around the configuration. Now everybody's outside of their gears. I'm going to cure everybody. Well, I'm going to have to end this episode now because I'm running out of time and my pancakes are calling me. We have another scripted encounter, but I don't have time to fight him.